And that's why I think World War Z just needed to be a new title and be completely... Oh, hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Critic Box, you fellow critics, you movie lovers. I am joined with the, I think I said before, the silk of cinema, Aundreya, and the fleece of film, Sarah. How are y'all doing today?
Oof. After that, lovely. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Right? What generous info.
Well, I mean, I feel like y'all need a little intro. By the way, my name's Jarrod. I didn't even introduce myself. That's how much I care about y'all more. So,
Sarah,
what movies have you... Yeah, you know what? We were just talking about, and they were congratulating me because I finally just watched Oppenheimer. For the first time, I finally did it. It took a year, but I did it, guys. I watched a movie that was recent. It was great. 3.5 hours of gold. Yay!
Were you able to shoot in one sitting?
Yes, although I paused. I went to the bathroom. I reloaded drinks. I checked an email, and then I went right back in and finished the movie because that's how you're able to do it when you stream it from home. The real way, the real benefits.
Told you. You gotta do that. Either VIP, we can get some beverages, some creature comforts, or you gotta watch it at home. Yes.
You gotta watch it at home. Exactly. It's always VIP at my house. Okay. How about y'all? Have y'all watched any movies recently in the last week since we talked?
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm on like a big Western kick because I'm like quietly working on a Western movie. So all of my last week has been things like Sweet Home Alabama, A Star Is Born, like all of these like fun, like very Hallmark, aspirational, like lovely, elevated, like country-esque movies. Nice.
So I put lightning rods in the beach, and then I grate glass, and then will you marry me? Yeah, that whole I know that one. Yeah.
What you want to marry me for anyhow?
I'm just a good-looking Matthew McConaughey.
We need
Okay, so go back to westerns because I'm a westerns guy. I literally took a class on it with my useless degree. So yes, tell me what is this western kick you're on, and also can I be in this movie? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we're just we're making a western movie, and so it's I don't know how much I'm allowed to say in regards to the storyline, but it's
takes place in the Wild West,
a hometown returning sort of story, back to the country. So excited to watch some stuff. Excited to see new things that are coming out though.
There's a lot of new things out there. You know what? In fact, let's watch some new things. Let's see some trailers. Let's see this one. What do we have here? Speak No Evil. With the James McAvoy.
And we have a show. Okay, it is not the same Speak No Evil show that we are on like 11 seasons of here in Canada. No, not that one.
Probably not. But it's James McAvoy, and I feel like that man needs to do more. Because every time he does something, it's amazing, but he doesn't get enough time, is what I say.
Is it enough time, or like just creative process takes a while?
Creative process takes a while, and he brings it every single time. I mean, I feel like, unfortunately, he got wasted in the Unbreakable trilogy. He was the star of the Unbreakable trilogy, but it didn't get garner enough attention.
Didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, that was an amazing role he played.
He's amazing in everything he does,
He does.
It's kind of wild.
I'm a McAvoy stan, without question.
This is my husband, Ben.
Patrick Feld, this is my wife, Kira.
This is Agnes.
Has some trouble communicating. He can be a bit insecure.
Nice Vespa. Yeah, isn't she? You should try.
Can we?
I won't call the fun police if you don't.
Okay.
Back before I quit my practice. You're a lawyer. Doctor, listen, you have to come and visit. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah? Yeah. Done.
It's so quiet around here. Don't even have any neighbors.
Welcome.
Ta-da!
You are VIP guests.
Just to remind you, I'm a vegetarian.
Our gift to you.
That is so...
Louise, doctor's orders.
Very good.
Yeah, that didn't look good.
Settle in. I promise you guys, it could be a great weekend.
How long's it been?
17 years.
17 years.
Wow.
You get less for murder.
Something's not right with him.
He has a condition. Makes it hard for him to communicate.
Sometimes it's okay to think things, but you can't actually say them. Oh no.
Thank God there's a doctor in the house.
I'm not a doctor.
What?
But didn't you say you were a doctor?
Did I? Yeah. Look at their faces.
Of course I'm a bloody doctor. Agnes, why don't you and Aunt show us the dance that you've been working on? And what is wrong with you? Just feel the rhythm in your feet. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the one.
What is wrong with you? I want to pack up the car and I want to leave right now.
I'm just sad to see you go.
We're gonna go out there and be completely normal.
I've been pretending it's normal since we got here. Dad?
Remember that time you guys came to stay? You flipped out and tried to leave without saying goodbye?
Whoa.
Okay.
I want to watch that. I want to watch the shit out of that.
But that looks like that is going to be a whole lot of uncomfortableness. Like a lot of like social anxiety. This is just
so
like
much tension.
cringe.
So much
A lot of
tension.
cringe is going to happen in this movie.
James McAvoy is really, really good at those types of on the verge of scary, on the verge of psychopathic type roles, and like gets this glare in his eye, or this glint in his eye, and you're just like, oh my god, he's really
no, James McAvoy. Oh, and honestly,
his
I mean,
intention of thought as an actor and what he's presenting in regards to his layering, gorgeous. Can't wait.
Also, I mean, can we just talk about the muscles that James McAvoy decided to have for this role? I mean, thank you, James. I knew you could do it. You just don't expect it for every role.
I wasn't the only one that noticed that mature look of his going on. The hot, the sexy, the handsome, just jumping off. He dreamy. He real.
Yeah.
He dreamy.
No, babe.
You get it.
What do you guys think this movie's gonna do? Do we get a date when it was coming out? What was the date on this one? September 13th?
Okay, so it's coming out right in spooky season. Okay.
Okay,
Here's the
no,
thing.
that's good timing. Good timing.
It's going in against Beetlejuice, and there's something else big that's in spooky season.
That's going to be a good. That it's going to set itself up for a good season.
You know what I mean? Like we've got a couple of like spooky season things that are happening. Isn't The Quiet Place, or that's coming out?
Quiet Place 3, the poisoning. Is that coming out spooky season?
Yeah, it's around that time. It's in that zone. And the Scream movie, that's the other thing that's coming out in spooky season. Yeah, so,
that's right.
I don't know. I don't know that it can hold against all of
7?
that.
Look who's screaming now.
Yeah, those are big fan bases. You know what I mean? I don't know that this looks cool as fuck. I think this would do well in like indie theaters. I don't know how well this will hold in like a regular box office compared to everything else that's out right now. It's going to be out at that time.
In terms of competing, I don't know if it's going to outperform a Beetlejuice 2. I mean, that's unless Beetlejuice 2 gets bad ratings as soon as it comes out. Then it becomes a good, viable other option. Apparently, Quiet Place 3 is coming out in 2025, so that's out of the running.
My bad.
But, I mean, I didn't know either. So, but I would say it is going to be, I mean, what you need for spooky season are options. And I feel like it's going to do well for itself in terms of options.
Well, I would agree with that. Absolutely. Yeah. And what's really going to sell it is McAvoy's performance. Like the story.
McAvoy sells. Oh, yeah.
Yes. But it's his performance coupled with whatever the storyline is for that little boy, because he was compelling as well. I don't know what that snip thing meant.
I saw no tongue.
For sure.
As in tongue cut out.
They cut his tongue out for sure.
yeah, he was giving me something. So I just honestly feel like if the storyline is that good, him as that child as a supporting actor and McAvoy's performance, like people will go see it. Like people will go see it in between the major films that are coming out around that time. So,
and especially if they get good reviews for the movie for his performance, I mean, people will go see a movie just to see an actor's performance. Like whether they are committed to the movie or not doesn't matter. Oh, I heard they were really good in this. Let me go see the person be really good in this. And 100%. I feel like that's definitely got that working for him.
Right. Definitely.
What else we got? What else is coming out?
Sure. Let's see. What else we got? Maxine with the triple X. Ooh. Director Ty West. I know that name. Hold on a second. Let's bring this up as we...
Mia Goth. Interesting.
Oh, okay. Rated X, The House of the Devil, The Innkeepers. That was the director of The Innkeepers did this movie. And it's A24, okay?
Yeah, and Mia Goth's been trying to like turn heads for a long time in regards to the Academy and acting and like working in horror. Like she's been around the block for a while and she's actively like going after it. So the fact that this is an A24 movie piques my interest a little bit. You know what I mean? Like A24 is known for their good acquisitions, their good shit.
Right. I mean, she's got to contend with some bad press, but you know, the fact is she's the lead of a really big movie that's coming out this year. So regardless of whatever happened while she was on set, if it happened or not, this is a really big moment for her, and she deserves, hopefully, for her performance, you know, notwithstanding, you know, her moment.
Are you talking about like what happened with her, like potentially like kicking her co-star in the head? Is that what you're referring to?
I didn't hear about that. Actually, what I heard about is that there was an extra, or there was a conflict or some type of altercation with her and an extra while on set. So
okay,
yeah, it's all an allegation at this moment in time. I don't think she's even had the opportunity to respond yet. But it just kind of feels like that thing where, you know, something really big is about to happen in your life. And as soon as something big starts happening, like here comes all these like skeletons and naysayers and haters out of the closet and like, oh, well, this happened with me and that person. So therefore they don't deserve the success that they're going to get. And that's just, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. They're saying that a background actor is upset over the fact that she kicked them in the head. So it sounds like he like went to the second AD and was like, she kicked me on that take. Which, if it's like some sort of like zombie scene or like death, you know, we've all been there on sets where like you're a BG and you're like asked to lie in some weird way when we do these like huge scenes. Or you think of that sequence in Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they're in like the M. Night Shyamalan movie and they're all playing like dead characters on the ground.
Yeah. Things will happen.
Things happen. Yeah. I don't think she did it intentionally. I think that like saying that she would intentionally like had the intent to harm someone is going a bit far.
That's saying a lot.
And there's also the component to this where the person that was injured was basically kicked off the set. So he effectively lost his job for whatever reason, whatever happened, and now that rightfully would make a person angry. So she's trying to get his lick back, and unfortunately,
best of luck,
it's unfortunate. She's also married to Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Good for her. Okay, well, here, you know what? Let's see what she's gotten. Maxine.
Maxine. Your agent tells us you're quite a popular name in adult film and entertainment. Is that correct? I'm curious, did you always want to be in that line of work?
I always wanted to be famous.
If you need to read off the sides we gave you, just go ahead, all right?
I know the lines.
She turns to the camera and, through her trauma, addresses the lens directly.
I was about to say, it's like physical headshots.
Jamie Lee Curtis, John Travolta, Demi Moore, Brooke Shields, and
Maxine fucking Minx.
I don't like walking out here with that freaking Night Stalker guy on the loose.
The Night Stalker.
Night Stalker?
Night Stalker.
He's terrorizing Los Angeles.
I can handle myself.
So said every dead girl in Hollywood.
Maxine, I'm the private detective. I had to find you. My employer is a very powerful man. The past ain't finished with you. It's gonna keep knocking at your door.
Tragically, another victim of the Night Stalker.
If I knew 3 people who were murdered in 3 days, I'd be pretty scared. What are you hiding, Maxine?
If I tell you something, we've got confidentiality.
What'd you do?
This is the defining role of your career.
Whatever's going on in your life that's interfering with this picture, squash it.
I intend to.
Maxine.
You're a fucking movie star.
Hell yeah. I can't wait
Okay,
to see that.
yes.
Definitely a theater one. This is a theater watch. I'll be in the theater for this too.
Yeah, that looks like that's got a lot. That's got a lot of thrills. That's got some horror. That's got some deep-seated storytelling. That's some realistic storytelling of the Night Stalker of 1985. Yeah, that's a lot going on. Hell yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me some 80s, give me some backstory. We have this huge resurgence of the 80s stories right now in the last 5 years. So everybody notice that? Like everybody's setting everything in the 80s. The 80s styles are back. The 90s styles are back.
Yeah.
Every aesthetic choice is like
It's
these like fun bisexual lighting and
every decade gets
cool
that.
vintage car.
Yeah. I think the
Every
last
decade gets that resurgence, that nostalgia, because it's been long enough where you start idolizing it and not remembering how terrible it was during the time. You start remembering the good parts of it, and so the exciting parts of it, and so that's all. It's like 40 years ago, and it's all wild back then.
Oh, Jarrod, I hate to break this to you, love, but it's almost 50 years ago.
Oh,
1985. 40
years ago, but like 80s. The start of the 80s is almost 50 years ago, which is a little bit terrifying.
Yeah. Well, 40
you
years
didn't
ago,
like that. You didn't
1984.
like that at all.
I mean, yeah, it is. I know because I was born in that. I'm halfway through the 80s. I know, yeah.
It's like, how dare you remind him of his age? How dare you?
How dare you remind me of how old I am? But yes, no, I think it looks great. I think it looks fantastic. It's got a whole lot of VHS cut splattered in blood. It's got the thing, but it's like, I'm not like other girls. Like vibe to it too, where she's like, I can hold my own compared to other
girls.
She's better than other girls. That's right. She's hardened from the streets.
It's giving me a bit of promising young woman, but right before they mentioned the night shade,
Night Stalker.
Yeah, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say that I really like the production design on it because it reminded just the look of it and the feel reminded me of a Magic Mike, a couple of scenes out of Magic Mike. Just the
that is such a hilarious comparison.
I know, but it was the dark and it's the bar and it's the.
When I think fine cinematography, I think Magic Mike. You know, when I think of the shading, the color tone, I think Magic Mike.
It gave it, okay? It gave it. It's good. But then they mentioned the Night Stalker, and I'm like, oh, maybe I don't like the way it looks so much because then there was that little anagram on man's face or whatever. But it does have a good look to it. I mean, it probably was done for like a moderate budget, but it looks really good. It looks really high end, or if not high end, but it just looked like they put a lot of effort into the set design, the costumes.
Like they took the time with it. They picked their shots.
Sure.
Yeah, most definitely. So yeah, I hope that whatever happened on that set works itself out. And
this is we got a coming soon, or we didn't really get a? Oh, it says release day July 5th.
Yeah,
okay, so that's gonna be a summer blockbuster, summer sizzler.
It is gonna be a summer sizzler.
Yeah. Okay.
She's got such an interesting look as a human.
Who, Mia?
Mia Goth, yeah.
Yeah, she does.
Interesting how.
I just feel like she could be anybody. She's got such the Johnny Depp effect, you know what I mean? That like you change her hairstyle, she's got such a you change a little bit of contour on her, she's got such a versatile face that anything she does in regards to where she's coming from as a character is going to change the structure and shape of her face, and she will be a different person on screen every single time you see her.
But isn't that the mark of a great actor, though?
I mean, you would hope.
Adaptability?
But, like, not
and
necessarily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you sell people on their look in the same way that, like, we were just talking about our gorgeous hot mans, right? We're going to all go see because our gorgeous hot man's in the movie. That's less about him changing his face.
Because they're our hot McAvoys, absolutely.
Do you see that smile?
We can go see it for our hot goth. Sure.
You know what I mean? But, like, in the next movie, it's not about her being hot in this. You know what I mean? Like, it's so versatile.
And I guess she's supposed to have that kind of offbeat, kind of like normal person look in this.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that she's supposed to look exceptional. I think she's supposed to be, like, very girl next door pretty.
Yes. And she definitely has that. So, and you're right. I mean, in some of the other roles that you change her hairstyle and she looks like unrecognizable as how she looks in this movie. So it's good. It's good. I mean, Mia Goth, the chameleon.
Yeah, she can play anything. I think she's definitely a rising star. A lot's gonna be. I think Mia Goth's going to look out for her.
Goes for her because again, she's done so many freaking horror movies. It's absolutely crazy, and like she has a hard time like breaking into the mainstream world, which like she absolutely deserves to be there.
Yeah. Next trailer up.
Next trailer, Bodkin. Bodkin.
Hopefully they say it.
Yeah, I know, right? It's one of those. All right, let's play it.
Yeah.
Hi there. Are you Bridget Pierce?
You the podcasters?
Yes, we are.
Oh,
God, don't let us in your house.
Will Forte.
I'm a journalist. I'm still consulting on a true crime podcast in the arse end of nowhere.
I've always thought that Ireland was the most beautiful country in the world.
All I see is shit. Fields and fields of shit.
21 years ago, 3 people disappeared.
On the Irish Night of the Dead.
Samhain. So cool.
Nice sunglasses.
You've never even had a serial killer in Ireland. We're a naturally good people.
There's an island of nuns teaching yoga. It just keeps getting better.
We need to find the real Bodkin. Bad things happen here, just like everywhere else.
I hear you're interested in the lads that went missing. I know what happened to them. They were attacked by horses. You should never trust a horse.
You lads seem awful interested in the past. Our lives aren't fodder for your entertainment.
The 3 of you poking around and everything will lead to no good.
We are being threatened. It means there's a story here. This is extremely good news.
This is my podcast. I make the rules.
What did you do? Whatever happened that night is still important to someone.
I came to Bodkin expecting a simple cold case. What if the cold case isn't cold?
Do you lads like a bit of a party?
Well, yeah, sure.
Ooh. Okay, I love
and
this.
that's coming out in 3 weeks.
Hell yeah. I'll stream the shit out of that. That was fucking great.
That looks a highly streamable show. That looks like that is going to have a mix of lighthearted comedy, and then it's going to get dark.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that ride.
I was actually thinking, I'm like, that took a turn real quick. Like, we were laughing, it was nice, and you know, you saw
Will Forte, ha ha.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden it was like, bodies start dropping from the sky. I'm
like, oh damn.
It's like we were just doing yoga, and all of a sudden, nope.
And now we're
there's
stretching
murder
out.
and intrigue.
I like it because I just got educated on a new fact that I didn't know that Ireland had a Day of the Dead. So that was.
I mean, that's kind of where it originated. Like what we celebrate originated there as Samhain. So yeah, that's definitely origins of Halloween.
Yeah, underground. They have underground pyramids.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
And then this movie's okay. This movie is definitely streamable for me because I want to learn more about Ireland now, and it's based on a true story, right? So.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm going to Ireland this summer, so I do need to study up on the Emerald Isle. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm officiating a wedding, friend's wedding in Ireland.
Oh, amazing! So I guess we're going to podcast from Ireland then. I guess we have to go with you.
No, you have to.
I'm small enough to fit in a suitcase.
100%.
It's okay, just because of a lot. I think plane tickets are a lot cheaper than they used to be. For
I will
obvious
pretend
reasons.
to be under 2 years old. I will sit there for free. It'll be great.
Okay. But next up we have Dark Matter, a sci-fi thriller series based on blockbuster book by famed bestseller Blake Crouch.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Apple's got their button on the pulse a little bit, and like some of the stuff that they've bought internationally has been really good. Like I don't know if you ever watched Tehran.
I did see a bit of that. I did like a bit of that. I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what their catalog is really looking like this year. I mean, it feels a little quiet to me in comparison.
I mean, everybody's catalog is quiet. We're down to less than 25% of production worldwide. Everybody's catalog is a little bit slow right about now.
Now's a great time to catch up. But also, we all wait for Severance Season 2. We're all freaking waiting for Severance Season 2, Apple TV. Get the hell on it. That's first priority, please. Anyway, Dark Matter.
Something happened to me, but you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Here we go. I don't know, it feels like Hamilton.
To my extraordinary wife, Daniela, I do not deserve you.
That's true.
We're friends.
A man of science. He is married to the woman of his dreams, and they have a good life.
Have a good day.
Coffee to go?
Oh my gosh, you're my hero.
Until one night, he doesn't make it home. When he regains consciousness, everything has changed.
I don't know, it sounds like he's crazy.
I'm not crazy.
Who are you?
I live here with you.
Charlie! Daniela! Have you done something to them?
I don't know who you're talking about.
It's Jason.
You know me. I've never served you.
It's not funny. Just tell me you know who I am.
I've never seen you before in my life. I just need answers.
You built the box. Behind every door in there is a version of your life that you could have lived.
You're different, Jason. You stole me from my world, and he brought me to his world. What if the person that abducted me is me?
Hey, fam.
Your life is so lonely. Why would he do that? What's the one thing you had that he didn't? He's been different, and I'm scared. I don't know what to do.
I need to use the box to get home.
The world you're looking for is a grain of sand on an infinite beach.
I need to get home to my family. I want my life back.
Do you ever get that feeling? Wanna kiss and hug her? Do it now. Tell her you love her. And I can never.
Okay.
Dark Matter.
I feel like this feels like new age Fringe. Did either one of you ever watch Fringe back in the day?
Loved
Fringe. Oh, yeah.
Joshua Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Canadian
Joe
treasure.
Jackson?
Yeah.
I just feel like, but Fringe was, okay, here's the thing. I'm a little lost with this trailer. I don't understand the storyline at all. And the difference between, I think, what was happening here and Fringe is that Fringe was able to clearly tell the story of having parallel universes and who was who and what was what and why it was happening at the time. I don't feel like this story has that type of specificity or clarity. However,
really,
yeah. I mean, maybe it's there, but I couldn't tell from that trailer. But the reason why I will watch it is because I love Joel Edgerton as an actor. I really enjoyed his performance in Loving. And it's just one of those things where it's the actor in it that's going to make me give it a try, not necessarily the story. And the fact that it is readily available on streaming. And so it's easy for me to watch. But yeah, I mean, it's just a little convoluted to me, that storyline. It's interesting, but convoluted.
I just feel like if I want to watch somebody talk about quantum mechanics and quantum string theory in regards to like multiple universes, I want to see it from Christopher Nolan. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so this is basically the last 15 minutes of Interstellar. You know what I mean? Where he's looking at all the rooms and looking at all the bookcases. That's what this show is. It's like, look, I've built a box to look into all the other boxes. We did this in Futurama. You know what I mean? Where the professor quite literally built a box that looks into other universes, like, and you can fall through it.
So you're saying it's been done before?
Yeah, I just think that like this is a thing that we've explored a lot. That I don't know that I'm gonna sink a couple hours of my life into to continue to re-explore quantum mechanics in the same way that I've seen from what I feel is a lot of other shows at this point.
So Joel Edgerton doesn't do it for you?
No.
Well, I think it's gonna be I mean, it's one of those watch the first 2 episodes and then see how you feel kind of a thing. It's like, okay, you know what? It's it's a Wednesday. We're at a quarter of the production that we usually should be having. Let me just throw this on, give it a watch, see what I think about it. And it could just be like it does that, the proper unraveling that some of these things need for it to do, whatever. Other than, I mean, the premise of I'm a guy and I'm lost in other dimensions. What am I to do? It's really going to come down to the acting. It's really going to come down to how they unpack that storyline. To see whether dark matter is going to hold for it. But I mean, I think 2 great stars to cast in. I mean, Edgerton and Jennifer Connelly. So I think it's got good possibilities.
I didn't think that what's the show that Disney has, or Apple? Is it Disney or Apple? No, it's Disney. Never mind. Scratch that. There's shows that we didn't think that were going to do well, and that actually ended up being much better than what the trailer purported itself.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, trailers are just a little taste, and then because you can't, I've seen trailers that were like, I'm not gonna watch this, and then I found out, oh my gosh, it's the thing you should have been watching, and then I've seen trailers and I'm like, oh my god, it looks amazing, and then like, oh, you just put the best parts of the whole damn thing into like 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay, cool, and so, but you just don't know.
This is one of, I mean, it's watchable. Is it streamable? Is it bingeable? Watch. We'll give it a try.
Yeah.
I think everything we've seen tonight, like what I'm going to spend my time doing is not that.
Sarah's not going to give it a try. I'll give it a try. Jarrod will give it a try. We'll let Sarah know.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I got some other things we're going to talk about in this episode that I'm going to be watching in the meantime, but we'll get to that later. In the meantime, there's another trailer we get to watch, and then we'll be getting to that momentarily. And I have no idea what it is, but the producers are up to it. Joker. Oh, we're going to be watching The Joker Part 2. Okay.
I'm so excited about this movie.
Let's go, boys.
Hey, Fleck, you got a joke for us today?
We use music to make us whole, to balance the fractures within ourselves.
I'm nobody. I haven't done anything with my life like you have.
Let's get out of here.
What's changed, Arthur?
I'll tell you what's changed. I'm not alone anymore. That's what we should be talking about.
I want to see the real you.
Oh my god.
Yes, yes,
So excited,
yes,
so excited.
yes.
Yes.
Please and thank you.
Wow.
Oh.
I love him. I love her. I love her and everything that she does. She's brilliant. I love that we're seeing Lady Gaga take on more and more roles in cinema. I think she's a fucking rock star in every single capacity creatively that she takes on. Do you
Whatever
know
she wants
that
to
when
do.
she was in her master's degree that there was a group that was Stephanie. I can't think of her legal last name. But like Stephanie insert last name here, you will never be famous.
Yeah.
She was like an entire Facebook group.
She was bullied horribly for believing in herself and going for her dreams. And I hope each and every one of those people are biting their tongues and spitting up bile right now because they deserve.
Yeah.
It tells you that they're doing something and they're going to go for it. Just believe in them and support it or shut up. And I will say, though, for her, Lady Gaga, I was really scared for her in this. I mean, once I realized that she was going to be doing this iteration of Harley Quinn, just her persona and her aura, I'm like, okay, it works because of this type of Joker. But I was just like, Margot Robbie made her version of Harley Quinn so grandiose, so larger than life, you know, like it's kind of like the comic version, but it was so popular. So then to have Lady Gaga step into the same role, doing it, but doing it in a much more grounded way, as a fan of hers, I was scared initially because I'm just like, can she live up to Margot Robbie's version of Harley Quinn?
1,000%. A Star Is Born. She's so grounded. She's so strong in who she is.
So long as you don't have, so long as she's not chasing her like Robbie's way, as long as she's going her own direction,
but she never
which
would.
I feel confident
Everything
she's
about
absolutely
her
doing.
is
Yeah,
authenticity. You know, everything about her core brand value of what she's like marketed around her entire 20+ year career at this point. You know what I mean? When you really start to think about it.
Right.
Is about authenticity, being yourself, finding your voice. Of course, if she takes on a creative project, that's what she's going to do with it. You know, A Star Is Born has been made 4 other times. That's not a new movie. That's a movie we keep remaking.
Right.
Every time we see her pop up in a movie, she is grounded. She is present. She is vulnerable. And she is interesting to watch. She's dynamic. She's fresh.
Right.
Which she really understands what it means to connect to words. I think that comes from her musical background and being able to sing something.
Right. And definitely didn't come from the meat suit. But for me, it was just like, it's just Harley Quinn, big fan of her Harley. Lady Gaga's now doing it. And like you said, what helps her is because she's so grounded and authentic in the products that she takes on and how she presents herself to the world. And I think what added to that is this script speaks to that, because this script is not the comic book Batman versions of the Joker. This script is the Joker, or this standalone movie is the Joker serious. Like,
it's the Joker mentally unwell,
gritty
which is
and
like,
real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And somehow they were able in this installment of that standalone version of the Joker to find a love story, right? So it's a love story between two mentally, whatever you want to call them, unstable or ill or whatever people, or just upset and
criminally ill,
disillusioned. We're gonna give them disillusioned people.
Delulu.
But it still has the capacity to be sweet, and I think the script helps it speak. Script speaks to both their assets as performers. I really think it does, because every time I look at Joaquin Phoenix too, I'm just like, damn, man, is that you? Like, really? That's you?
I know, just what, and how skinny he looked. I mean, damn, Joaquin. Like, I've seen Joaquin, like, yeah. And what I think is going to be beautiful about this is they're clearly leaning into the almost musical golden era of Hollywood, of like the romance that is actually the Joker and Harley from the comic book series. And there's a number of like, the producers can pull it up sometime later, but it was like there's the beautiful artwork that's been done about Joker and Harley. Like, they are in their own world. What I would love to see from this movie is when they're together, they're in their own magical musical world, and then bam, like slapdash into reality again. They have to get out of situations, do this, do that, explosions, gunshots, whatever. But then when they're back together again, it's almost like a Hollywood musical kind of a feel, because that was the love story portrayed in the comic book series. And I love seeing this. It's taking this long for us to get a Joker and Harley movie, which is a huge crux of the Batman villain storyline is Joker and Harley, and it was touched upon in the other, let's just say, Zack Snyder Batman, that we just don't need to talk about Leto's performance, but this one, it's beautiful. It's beautiful the way that it's beautifully portrayed in the comic book series, and I love how they seem to be going towards that angle of it. They are just a star-studded romance, and I'm excited for it.
Definitely. Hell yeah. And it's speaking to the musical thing, apparently there's like 15, I don't know the exact, but 15 musicals or 15 types of like classic
new songs.
Yeah, that they're going to be doing in this too. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the screen smash to them dancing in their own little worlds, and telling this love story to come back, to pull them out of that and bring them back to reality and to the Delulu world that they're living in the asylum. I don't know.
They're of the demented capacity where they could just be literally watching Gotham burn, and they're singing and dancing together, and it's that's just, that's the
that's their
amazing.
King. That's what they're about.
Yeah, that's their thing, man. Yeah, it's who they are.
And that might just be like a good reference, like, in this world that we're living in, like, we fall in love, even though all sorts of craziness is going on around us. And, being in that love and finding with our person is our safe space.
Yeah.
Look at you all lovey-dovey. Did somebody get a date? Look at this.
Yeah.
Funny.
Oh, she's going blush like Harley.
We'll circle back on that.
Talk about that more later. So, I think it's about time that we don't discuss this very often, but video game series. I feel like that's a genre that we're seeing come back so hard and so real and so wonderful. And I remember looking at the Super Mario of the 90s that everyone poo-poos, but that was a fun movie. It had nothing to do with even the video game, to be honest, but I learned the word corpulent because of that movie. I will hold that, okay? That was not a bad movie. And then there was the Silent Hill that was fun and everything. And then you get your Sonic the Hedgehog, all this, da-da-da. But we're talking, in terms of TV series, video games have not had their moment. And TV series is exactly how you would play a storyline of a video game, because just like a video game, it unfolds as you progress through it. Film, everything has to be smacked into 2 hours. TV series, it can be stretched out now, but now we are living in the world of The Last of Us. We're living in the world of Twisted Metal, and now we are living in the world of Fallout, and all three of those are very highly watchable series. Have you all seen any of them yet?
Okay, I don't know what Twisted Metal is.
It's really funny that you bring up Last of Us, because this idea of like going from big screen to small screen to major screen to like gamified screen media is something that I like highly specialize in. I was like looking at writing a PhD on. So this is absolutely up my alley.
Little thesis material there, yeah.
Little thesis material of the idea of like what we're doing in regards to taking content and beginning to use it in all platforms. So thinking of like the same thing of like the release of Beetlejuice, where we're taking like a movie that was highly successful. We've turned it into a Broadway musical. We've gamified it. We're now expanding it out to another series. What we're doing with The Last of Us is something that was like super successful as a video game. Walking Dead took a ton of The Last of Us stuff from the video game and put it in their show. Trash. Just really Last of Us is a better thing. Both of those are rooted in comic books. You know what I mean? Going from this old style media where we're getting a lot of stuff that's coming from comic books or a lot of source material that's literary, moving into kind of your living room TV screen, but also transitioning into your own environment of being part of the viewership, being part of the watch cycle. Yeah, see?
Yeah, I got it. I mean, the graphic novel is all you need to do in terms of The Walking Dead.
For me, it started with X-Men, so I'm sorry, I'm way back there. X-Men, Transformers, all G.I. Joe. I'm sorry, those are my book source material movies that I watch. Not necessarily.
Fair enough. But, Fair enough. Those are fine. That one thing. All right. Since you talked about the Last of Us, wonderfully done. Hold on with. I'm just gonna say Pedro Pascal. Really, any movie or any series, you can just say Pedro Pascal and then fill in the rest of it.
My father.
Yeah. Here. There we go. Let's watch this trailer real quick.
You haven't seen the world, so you don't know. You keep going for family.
I'm not family.
No. You're cargo.
Why are you so important?
Somewhere out west, they're working on a cure. I think what really impressed them was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
If she so much as twitches, don't. I'm taking you with me. You do what I say when I say it. You got any advice on the best way west?
Yeah, go east. If you come this far, then you know what's out there.
You're not gonna scare us.
Scared him? You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
Be careful who you put your faith in.
You might not be her father, but you were someone's.
You trust me?
Oh yes. Oh,
Perfectly heartwarming until the end there.
Season 1 was wonderfully done. I think it was episode 3 or 4 with Nick Offerman. I wept at the end of that episode. That's how good it was. Nick Offerman should have gotten the Emmy? Yes,
Emmy.
TV Emmy. Yeah, he should get. Did he get an Emmy for that one or no? I think he did actually.
He might have. I don't remember.
Let me see.
I
Anyway,
love him. I love Nick Offerman and everything he does. That man is fucking brilliant.
Okay,
Nick
so
Offerman. Yes, he did. Yeah, Nick Offerman won an Emmy for that, which he fucking should have because that episode was just. But okay, so that is a successful video game story adaptation, and then I'm going to start talking about Twisted Metal because I never played The Last of Us. I haven't played Fallout yet. I did play Twisted Metal, and Twisted Metal was 20 years ago the shit. It was a fantastic PlayStation game. Sorry, producers, do we have a trailer for that because no one's heard about the show Twisted Metal, and it's a really good, fun series with Adam Mackey, who Adam Mackey has even said we need more comedies. Can we just have more comedies? But sorry, it's not Adam Mackey. Anthony Mackie.
Anthony
Mackie. The criminals out
Anthony Mackie. Sorry, Anthony Mackie was even like, this is a comedy. It's a fun one.
Like me, delivering cargo from one walled city to another.
Okay.
That's where the cars and guns come in.
This is new.
This
is very new to us.
So if I'm here, then the exit is... Oh, they have a Foot Locker. Oh, son of a...
Welcome to New San Francisco. I want to hire you. Make up a package, bring it back. I can make your every wish come true. So, John, what do you wish for?
Toilet paper. 2-ply.
I think I can do better.
3-ply? All right, Evelyn, let's deliver this package. It's rude not to introduce yourself before pulling a gun on someone.
Oh, this is rude. If you put the gun down, I'll drop you off as close as I can to where you're going.
You have no idea what's out east. Even the people trying to bring the law back are dangerous.
This is our land. These are our roads.
And you're gonna have to go through Vegas. We both know who rules Vegas, John.
Hi, everybody.
I've never seen anyone cut off a human head and catch it as good as that.
We run the town, run the street and two. That Stokey free come through. All of them
Alright, I'll watch the shit with this. Alright.
Thank you.
Will Arnett is definitely like
He's one of the executive producers.
Yeah, oh yeah. I love anything that man does. Great.
This
Fuck
never
yeah.
happened to me before. Really? Man. Oh, man.
Oh my God, it's DMV.
What's down the red line?
No, please!
Cool. Screams.
Yeah, again,
Acting
it
like-
was a series of it was a comedy and it was just fun, but it's also had some serious moments to us where you got gripped in it. You have Anthony Mackie, Stephanie Beatriz, Nev Campbell, Thomas Hayden Church, which I love Thomas Hayden Church, love him since the 90s. And then also Will Arnett, who plays the voice of Sweet Tooth, that clown, not the body of him, that's played by Samoa Joe. But it's a fun, really well done, and like the video game it was basically a shoot 'em up game. It was like you're in a vehicle that has like machine guns and rockets, and then you just it's like an arena style, like you have to kill off these people and you're the last one survivor. Simple thing, but it was also really renowned for having good video cuts, like good video scenes for characters and storyline. And it didn't even get to half the characters in the video game. And it was unsung. No one's heard about it, but it's like come out. I'm like, and my friend told me about it. He's like, I watched it twice. It's just fun. It's just a fun series and well done, I think. Very well done. Recommend.
I enjoy it because you enjoy it so much, Jarrod.
You should. If I can promote this show because it needs more eyes on it, it was a fun show.
Okay, well,
definitely worth watching.
Okay, here's the thing. If a show or a production based on a video game is doing well, this is the reason why it's good for the video game, because there's a lot of people out there like myself who don't know a lot of these video games. I'm not a gamer. I don't play them. However,
that's totally fine.
I might be interested into playing them if I watch the series or the film adaptation of it, and it's good. Then I'll probably go download the game and be like, okay, let's get on it. Let's try it for a while. You know what I mean? And that is actually what's happening with these video game adaptation series, where people are just being like, oh, wow, this is good. Okay, let's just go see what the game is about.
Yeah, let's go back and let's go track it down. Let's go see what Ubisoft was about. Yeah, see what Bethesda had and all that. Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, it's good for two entities, really. I mean, it's good for the people who are putting it on film, and it's really good for the video game developers themselves. It's like I stopped at Lara Croft. Okay, I stopped at Sonic. I stopped at Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, look, nothing's gonna be 90s Mortal Kombat. That was just everything the 90s could offer, and it did.
That was the extent of my video game turned film consumption adaptation.
Silent Hill has a soft spot in my heart.
I'm really excited for this new bit. I'm looking forward to it. I was thinking that they should have done this with GTA a long time ago, but apparently
no. GTA's got a new GTA 5 coming out. It's got jiggle physics. It's coming out next year. The whole thing is so
GTA
cool.
6?
At some point, we will watch the new trailer for GTA. It's so good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm into it.
Next time.
I'm so excited.
But then we have a third series, Fallout, which I'm not gonna brag, y'all. I just watched the first 2 episodes before we shot this episode. Yeah, I did my homework for a change, and
I'm on episode 3.
Damn it! Fine. Yeah. But let me tell you, Fallout. Can we watch it?
Hello.
There we go.
I'm here to show you a wonderful place.
I love this actor so much.
A veritable Camelot of the nuclear age. Not made by God Almighty, but the working man.
You can be a hero by purchasing a residence in a Vault-Tec vault today. Because if the worst should happen tomorrow, the world is going to need you to build a better day after.
The mission of the vaults should be important to everyone. To come up to the surface one day and restart civilization. Can you tell me what's happened in the last 200 years?
Holy shit. You're an actual vault dweller.
I am. I thought all you dipshits were dead.
What you're doing is insane.
I don't
It isn't like the vault out there. It's big.
I just want to start.
I've had a rough week. Practically every person I've met up here has tried to kill me.
I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
You need to go home. You come from a world of rules, of laws. You should not be alone.
Why did you join the Brotherhood?
To hurt the people who hurt me?
People are going to come after you.
Ain't much stage cleanup here, Volty. Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs. Look out at this wasteland. Looks like chaos, but there's always somebody behind the wheel.
Everyone wants to save the world, they disagree on how.
There you are, you little killer.
Can we just speak the praises of Walter Goggins, that main lead character that you saw there? Walter Goggins is just one of those that guy actors that, you know, if he's in it, he's giving it 100%, and you forget that he's a guy named Walton. Like he becomes whatever character.
He absolutely does. He's in so much stuff as an actor.
I mean, Righteous Gemstones is
Righteous
Baby
Gemstones
Billy,
is
come on now,
amazing.
Baby Billy. Like,
yeah, he's
the best
so
character in the
amazing
series.
that.
He's that guy that is the best character in every series he's in.
He's in Eastbound and Down.
Yes,
which is amazing. He's amazing in everything he does. It's crazy.
It's got Michael Emerson, which I forgot that he's still alive. He was in Lost. He was one of the main the guys who was later in the series. Like he came in there. Yeah, good. I mean, I've loved the first 2 episodes. I'm sorry, I'm not up to date as Aundreya is with her 3 episodes, but it's good. But all of this boils down to Last of Us, Twisted Metal, Fallout. What do they all have in common? Post-apocalyptic storylines.
Yep.
That's what they all 3 of them are. And in terms of, like, you know, from drama to comedy, you can go Last of Us, Fallout, and then Twisted Metal. But it is all post-apocalyptic, which I'm going to say evidence is showing. 1, video game stories, nice. But it's not just that. people are into good post-apocalyptic stories right now. Everything going on in this world, they need a little something like, what can we look forward to in the next maybe 5 to 10? Like, what do we got coming down the pipe? What is it going to look like? How do I need to start working out now? Do I need to work on my machete skills? Or like, what hope do I? Maybe I can just learn to drive and shoot. Maybe that's another alternative here. It's like, but I feel like there's something about that vein, that post-apocalyptic vein, that is really hitting right about now. And then also with a good background of a well laid out video game storyline. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I agree with you. I mean, look at the Resident Evil. Look how much installment that series that we've had, and it all started with Raccoon City, and it all started with a video game, right? So I mean, post-apocalyptic works definitely when it comes to video games. And I think the reason why these three work is because they also have really great directors and people behind it. Like Jonathan Nolan, I mean, he is a crazy amazing writer. And I really feel like he should be a film director, but he does great TV, so fine, give him that. But the way he directs is like it's film, and it's just a really solid cast, really solid people behind the camera, and really solid storylines. Like the way they've adapted these video games, it's like it's the game. They're true to the games. This is what I can tell, at least from Fallout.
True enough to the games. Yeah.
Let's disclaim that a little bit. They're true to the games, but the world that they've set them in, like the people the characters that they put around it, that have so much personality, and it is just so cute. And even the composition and the music, it just gives it this life that was just like, oh, this might actually be better than the video game. In certain senses, just because you're watching it and you don't actually have to play and participate, you can just sit back and watch.
You don't have to play. You don't have to be good at it. You don't have to have the right console for it. I don't have the console for like 2 out of 3 of those anymore.
Right, but the thing is, you can watch the shows and say, okay, if I were playing the game, this is where I would switch from. This is where I'd pick up or upgrade my weapon. This is where I would have to use a life. This is where I jump to the next level. This is the video storyline intro that you get. Like, you can definitely see these things, but the way that it's incorporated is just so seamless that if you don't watch the video game, if you didn't know that this was a video game first, that all that stuff wouldn't have occurred to you. But if you do watch the video, or if you do play the video game, you're happy because you're like, yeah, man, this is exactly how it would be if I was actually playing the game right now. So, Fallout.
Yeah, and you understand like in each one of these, you understand the value of collecting med packs, saving your ammo, like water and food is important, like post-apocalyptic things, but it's also video game things as well. Like those elements that I've been training for decades is those things of just like, of even in the show, they like, don't waste those because they're valuable resources and we don't know when we're going to find the next one. And so then they have to do that as they're being shot at, of like, okay, they have to start evaluating what to do with that. It does have those good elements of it. And same thing with Fallout. She's just this, doe-eyed, like just got out of a vault, like girl in this very harsh, indifferent, gritty world. And which is what you are in that video game. You are this character being dropped into this world. Best of luck to you, because you have no idea what's out there and what you're going to expect. And neither does she. And that's played very well by, I forgot her name, Ella Purnell. Yeah, Ella Purnell does a very good job of being very doe-eyed and, like, ooh, has like everyone's all about the vault. And I'm like, oh, I'm very small in this very big, harsh world. And it's played very well.
The characters have personality. Anthony Mackie's character has definite personality, and Anthony Mackie plays that to the hilt. And we never really get to see him like that in any movie or show that he's done. So I really love the lighthearted version of him, like I said. But like, yes, Ella Purnell, she's absolutely great, because you look at her and you're like, how do you play this innocent, naive, gullible woman who has to figure out how to adapt to this harsh place after being coddled by her father so well, so believable, where you actually end up liking the girl and everything that she does not know,
And Bella Ramsey playing like she's the comedic break in The Last of Us, of she's lost everything. She's almost died, yet she's still, but she's young and she's the hope for the future. And she's still, that has jokes and everything, and so that's what makes her character so endearing is that she is the sign of hope. One, because she may have the cure inside of her, we don't know, but it's also she's young and she's optimistic, even though she was born and raised in this shit-ass like post-apocalyptic world, and that in itself is beautiful and rewarding.
Yeah, it's the comedic relief that you would never expect. Or
yeah,
I mean, she I don't know much about her or that. That's next on the list for this. We're gonna watch it, The Last of Us. Okay, it's on the list. But yeah, I mean, you kind of need that when you're retelling a video game story. Like a video game is just so general and it's just so ambiguous in a sense where like it's a game, so it's an avatar, and when you're playing the game, the only personality that these characters have is yours. Right. So if you're going to take that and move that over into screen, then the characters need to have the personality that the players would think that they should have.
Yeah.
And that's really good about these 3 series is that the characters do. Like they're rich, they're full.
They're rich, they're full, they're good, they're living in a harsh world, but they're still maintaining themselves. And I feel like that's also, again, within the post-apocalyptic genre that people are kind of liking, is because we're like, well, we're almost there. What can I expect? Like, what shot do I have, in this? And then the fact that these characters could be any one of us, I mean, with some strength and conditioning and target practice, but, like they could be us. They go, okay, there's still people living and say thriving, but living and being themselves in this world, and that's a beautiful, like, that's a new thing. It's a new storyline that I feel like is we're going to be seeing more of.
Yeah,
and also speaking of post-apocalyptic, we can also talk about the Matrices trilogy, which the peak of human civilization was in 1998 when Matrix 1 came out, and then nothing good has come ever since. I said it. And so now...
I don't know. I like the trilogy. It's fine. Do we need them? No. Does it need to be a trilogy? No.
Oh, we're going to get one. We're going to get a 5th.
Neo things. Like, yeah,
we got Matrix 1, and then Matrix 2 Reloaded, Matrix 3 The Reloading, Matrix 4 Look Who's At It Again, the new batch, and then we got apparently a Matrix 5 coming out, like Matrix V. What?
How are you saying this?
I mean, I didn't even see the 4th one. I didn't even bother I mean, it was on that pile that I just never got to. But then I have not heard any reason to watch it. So I'm like, okay. But I'm like, what are the Wachowski sisters doing right now? Like, I mean, do we need? Is the 5th one going to be like, hey, y'all, 5th one's really gonna bring up that series right back up. We're gonna wrap it up and everything. Like, what? I'm not the Matrix.
Can wrap it up. You know what I mean? I think it's the same thing that they've done with John Wick. They're not gonna wrap it up. Like, it's just not what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Well, they wrapped up John Wick for sure, but I mean, who?
No,
I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest Matrix fan either. But Sarah, Aundreya, are y'all bigger Matrices?
I'm literally in tears at what you're saying right now. I mean, I really feel like I like the Matrix. I'm not a huge fan of the Matrix, but I like the Matrix. I like the stories, and I like where it went. And I really feel like the Matrix has that potential to be like the Planet of the Apes. Like, you could do different standalone movies within the Matrix. Like, if you find a writer that's good enough to be like, okay, well, when we were doing it with Neo was the 6th, the one, and they realized that, by the humans had burnt the sky 600 years ago as opposed to 100 years ago. So, okay, that's that. All right, that's over. Now we have new stars, because God only knows if Keanu is going to come back and do it again. And if he does well, and Florence Fishburne comes back well.
If they don't, then they don't have the Matrix, let's be honest. I mean,
no. They could have a new Matrix. This is what I'm saying.
The new Matrix?
If you find the right cast, if you say, okay, you know what, none of our old stars are coming back. We have to start over from a completely different Matrix, a different new thing, but still paying homage to that story and those actors that got us to this place. But now we have this writers with this potentially brand new ensemble cast. the Matrix can continue into God only knows what forever, because there could be different revolutions of it. There's different evolutions of it. Like we're talking about quantum computing, and we're talking about multiple planets and parallel universes. Like if you find a strong enough writing team, it could definitely be one of those things where we're like, okay, well, that was the Matrix there. This is the Matrix quantum Matrix, whatever. It doesn't matter, but like it has the potential to do that. And this is why we need a Matrix 5. Now, if they happen to continue the old stuff, well, then I really hope it's good.
Well, it's the same thing. I would say
at that point you have a high standard to live up to. But the fact is, right now, nobody knows what the story is going to be. So
well, and it's also, you can put it to the thing of, same thing with Planet of the Apes, same thing with the Terminator franchise. Sure, you can bring back original cast, but do you have the story to bring it back with? Like, I thought y'all wrapped it up in the heyday of those, Or it's like, okay, if you are going to come back with like a new cast, whatever, that's cool. Give me a reason to go watch it. Is this like happening? Like, okay, sure, it happens 300 years later. Sure. What's happening in 300 years? Has things gotten better? Looks a lot like the same. Like, what's humans or robots? How are they going to do it? Now, if they did, again, like I always say, the Matrix day one, like if they did that shit like that, like what was like Terminator, the Judgment Day, like when the robots rose up and took off, whatever, like they did what was it, the Matrix anime series. They did it was like a bunch of short stories of Matrix. That was great. That was a lot of fun, and it talked about like those days of the Animatrix. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm getting screamed at by producers who are huge fans of Animatrix. Yes, it was Animatrix. Thank you. And it was, but that kind of tells you the day one. Like as the robots are starting to rise up, and then they were refused by humans, and then they're like, fine, we're going to do our own thing, and then they started rising up. Yeah, that's a story. That's a fucking movie I want to watch. Like, I'll watch the hell out of that movie. But if we're like Matrix 200 years from now, like, well, it looks like the original cast didn't do it, so okay, what's gonna happen now in 200 years? New cast comes out, new generation 8 comes out or whatever. Like, okay, well, what are they gonna do now? So it's like, it can be a new cast, sure, but it's also going to have a good story of like validated, not just like, oh, here's another filler episode. Come and watch it, y'all, because it says Matrix on the cover of it. I'm like, it's got to justify it. Like, it's got to pop. Give me a reason why.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right there. But the thing is, we're still watching Aliens. Okay, they're now Aliens. Romulus is about to come out. Alien came out. Well, it was Alien, then Aliens, or Aliens, and then Alien, whatever order that came in. But now we're watching Romulus, and it's the same type of deal here, where it could be a really good story using the same premise as the original story in a completely different pocket of the plot, or a different plot in that same realm or in that same world. It has potential to do that. If you find somebody that's creative enough, who's taken enough shrooms, you will get there. Okay?
With enough shrooms, anything is possible.
Teaches you writing. Shrooms and...
Okay, so which again, I will say any movie is watchable under the right conditions. Mushrooms can be a very big help on that, okay?
It's possible. I'm excited to see what they could do with this. I mean, I don't ever want to tell an artist no, not to do a thing, because we've already seen it before. We had 5, or the last one that you guys didn't turn out so well, and it did low box office numbers. Like, let artists be artists. And
that's a loose term anyways, but yeah.
And before this becomes into a studio's business, it's art.
Yeah.
We're gonna have this debate forever, Aundreya. I mean, like, it's still a business. That's the whole idea of a franchise. A franchise generates money based off the original idea. That's why you do a part 2, a sequel of a franchise.
Well, that's the thing, because the fans are always going to go see it if they're a fan of the franchise.
Exactly.
However, it's whenever you get the feedback from those fans who are going to see it anyways, as when they come back and they're like, yeah, you're not going to like this. Then I'm like, okay, then I know I didn't waste my time, like I did with Matrix 4: The Annihilation. I don't know what it was. But then like, if somebody did go see it and they're like, oh, actually, it is pretty good, then the second wave of people to go see it in theaters is the people saying like, oh, okay, well, I heard it got good reviews. Let me go check it out then. Like, that's the second wave. But if you don't make it past that first wave, then then what was the goal?
But listen, that's the point. The Matrix has a solid fan base.
Yeah.
Solid fan base. Like, they could adapt that into video games, comic books, whatever they want to do. It has the fan base enough to do that. So it also has the fan base to withstand a fifth movie and to watch it and let the rest of us know who may not be as diehard fans of the Matrix series as they are, whether we should watch it or not.
Yeah.
And it could be the Terminator. It could be an Alien. It could be a Planet of the Apes. It could be a
Gladiator too. We just don't know, you know?
It has the potential. And yes, Sarah, I understand. It's business. It's all business. Show me the money. Okay. I get it. But it's also, there's a part of it. And this was a part in the industry that we should never lose, is that we shouldn't lose like the honesty of the art. We don't do this just because we like money. There's a lot of times there are people are doing things and they're not making as much as they should, or if they're making anything at all. And they're doing
that's us actors, basically, yeah.
I don't know about that. Actors just renegotiate a whole contract where they're making a whole bunch of money. I don't think that's
big actors, yeah.
But no, I've met some writer-directors that will have something to say about that. But that's the point. I mean, there's just sometimes you just got to do it for doing its sake, you know? And this might be one of those things just for the love of it. Like, let's go.
It's stories. Stories. We're storytellers, and that's what it's all about. It's you have to tell a good story.
Absolutely. And I agree with you on that. I don't know that I think that if a good story is coming from a major network, it's because it's been like highly developed for a long time because of that franchise, because of what kind of money that franchise is going to make. I think the good stories that we see in a lot of cinema now are coming from the indie circles. I think a lot of the stuff that's like got big budget, that's got over 20 mil, you know, it's coming from a studio. You know, it's good. It's well constructed, budgetarily smart fan based stories that will garner, you know what I mean, box office dollars.
I gotta believe in the filmmakers that are out there that there's someone, even with box office dollars, even with those strict limitations on them, even though they've got a big bad studio trailing their every move, being like, you got to do this by then, there's still some love for it.
Well, I'm not saying that people don't like their jobs. I'm not saying that people aren't artists. I'm not saying that like we're not making a movie. We're still making a movie. We're still making artistic and creative choices. We're still showing up and doing our jobs every day. I just think that there's something very different between like going out and doing it, as you say, and like working for free or working for like extra tip rate on like a movie that may or may not do well on festival circuit and get picked up, versus like being handed $20 million to go make a movie where your crew is on for like a set amount of days and everybody's making above $300 a day. I just think that those are very different things when you're talking about making art.
No, okay, and that's true. Like when you get to that production stage, I'm talking about when we're talking about those types of movies. I'm just talking about the fact that somebody's going to sit down and write this at first, because
but they'll write it on spec. Somebody will pay some assistant to sit in off and be like, take this guideline that we've built of scenes and go and write this and bring it back to me.
Maybe they will get paid for that, but they're not going to get paid the studio bucks for that. There's not a budget. There's not a production
budget for that. There's absolutely a budget for that. What do you mean?
There's a budget for that, but there's not a $20 million production budget for that yet.
No, it's on spec. You know what I mean? Like you have in-house staff writers that are writing treatments of stuff that you've given them. You know what I mean? You have a stack of ideas of things that you need written, and then you have your staff writers and your spec writers go in and you write those things, and then you shelf it for 6 months, and then you hire one staff writer to come in and do that thing rather than 10 staff writers that you would have back in the 90s, because you can do that now. It's that pipeline problem we're getting back into.
And most writers at the initial stages are making a fraction of what they would have made if they were a part of that $20 million deal. They're in the development deal. That's a completely different deal.
Well, but the development deal at a studio stage and a development deal like in the indie world are very different. Like they're still making money. Like let's not joke about the fact that like somebody's sitting down. Yeah, absolutely.
Of course they are. But I'm just saying like there's people. I see your point. I definitely see your point, and you're absolutely right in what you're saying. I'm just like talking about early initial stages, and even though Matrix is a franchise that's been highly successful before, you don't know why they're doing the 5. We don't even know if we don't know how the 5th got greenlit. So, like they may have had to go through jump over a bunch of hurdles and a bunch of shit to get the 5th one green.
I mean, but that's everything, right? That's every movie you're ever gonna make is gonna.
That's also the next movie we're going to talk about, Gladiator 2, the new batch. Like, what is this going to be? Like, what? Everybody, I mean,
that's so long. Like the original Gladiator was so long. Like
it was more than 20 years ago. Yeah. And I mean, every guy talks about the Gladiator original one, but Gladiator 2, this one apparently takes place 20 years after the original one.
Okay.
I mean, are we going the Spartacus angle on this one? Is this like the gladiators rise up?
Well, you're
going to get a lot of the late 40s to 60s dudes that go see this movie.
Of course it's Pedro Pascal. Of course he's going to be in it. I mean, that's just a given. If there's a new project you're going to throw in a Pedro. He's going to say yes to everything, and I'm going to go watch it because of him. But we got Ridley Scott back. And again, but what is it going to be? I mean, are you just going to make another guy that, I used to be a general in the Roman army. Now I'm a gladiator. I'm going to fight my way for freedom. Cool. We already did that with the first one. Is this one going to be, hey, we're gladiators. We're just above slave in this community, in this world? Are we going to get together and rise up like Spartacus? Like, what's it going to be? We don't know. We don't know what this is, what Gladiator 2 is going to have in store for us. We have a shield on a marble statue in Vegas, though, so that says something.
Maybe it's all about like the ruling class. I don't know what they're gonna do with it.
Well, I mean, class warfare would be the only way to make that story interesting, to be honest.
Right?
Otherwise, we're saying this. I mean, not that I'm not gonna love watching some gladiatorial fights in the Colosseum. Hells yes, I will watch that all the time.
They may not even
you got to make it interesting, right?
They may not even go in that. Well, they should, but they may not even go in that direction. We're just following. We're following Lucius's life as he navigates ancient Rome. That can mean absolutely anything. That doesn't mean he's necessarily a gladiator.
There's a lot of politics, yeah.
There's going to be some sex. It was ancient Rome.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a little bit of that.
There's going to be sex.
Some corrupted governmental type thing. Like, there's a good bet there's going to be a lot of that. But I mean,
yeah, sex and politics.
Could they do
that was Roman
politics is sexy?
Sometimes. But like, will they go the Spartacus route? I mean, Spartacus has his own movies. Spartacus has his own television shows. You know what I mean? So, like, I
think they called it Spartacus.
Yeah, but that's from Sparta, which is Greek. I don't think they're going that way. I really don't.
No, it's just
they're probably not going to do another Spartacus. But I mean, there were other gladiatorial uprisings other than Spartacus. There are about two or three other ones, I think. But yeah.
Right. I just kind of.
But that could be an element of it.
Well, but it's all. We had The Rock. We have Stone Cold. We had Puncher vs. Helmsley. Like, this is
put the team back together.
No. I mean, this is just like, well, Spartacus was a great champion. Well, here's another great champion, and this is our idea of how his story went.
It could go because back in the day, gladiators were like wrestlers. Back in the day, like I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna get killed for forgetting his name. But the main character in the first Gladiator, I know Russell Crowe, but I mean I'm talking about his actual name, Maximus Decimus Aurelius, something like that. Yeah, I've heard the speech 1,000 times. But it's also like he could have been a Hulk Hogan of the 80s. Like that's what gladiators were back then. They were stars. They were it was all exhibition.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it was. And so, like, they could go with that angle to it of like, okay, hey, he's this guy who's famous, but he also doesn't have his freedom either because he's a gladiator. And so that in itself could be its own angle. We don't know. We don't know what it's going to be, but it's got Ridley Scott attached to it. And that means it could be exciting because when you get the original director back in the saddle, then they can bring back what you liked about it.
Right. When I first watched The Gladiator, I really thought it was about war. I did not. It didn't. The whole gladiator, like Olympian type fighting thing did not connect for me at all. I literally thought it was about this man named Spartacus fighting a war against the Romans. Like that I didn't get that part until I watched the show that was on Netflix, and I'm like, the slave upper. Okay,
and that was true. That was a true story. Yeah. And then we have, Hansu is back. We got Pedro Pascal. We got Barry Keoghan. I never got his name right. Denzel. We got some names.
Matt
Lucas, who's just fun. I mean, Matt Lucas, he's gonna be a diplomat without question. He's gonna be like what do you call him? What's his face from Game of Thrones? He was the eunuch in Game of Thrones. What was his name?
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna play a character like that. Matt Lucas looks like he's gonna be one of those kind of political guys.
Consigliere? No.
Yeah, consigliere, that kind of type. Yeah.
I bet you
Consigliere.
Barry is going to be the Roman. I'm seeing Barry and Joseph Cass as Romans. Paul Pascal, yeah, he definitely looks like he could be an offspring of Maximus. I see it. May Cal, love interest or really, really bad conniving woman. I don't know. Looking forward to it.
She looks real Roman, real Italian.
Yeah, Peter Mensah. Mensah is back. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, love Peter Mensah. He's another one of those guys of like he just becomes that one of your favorite characters and wherever he's in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, it could be about anything. Like it's completely outstanding right now, and I just feel like you just have to give these writers room and space to write, and we might be surprised. So.
Might be surprised, but then we've also been let down in the past. But we won't know. We won't know until we get another trailer out, and then again, you won't know if the trailer's good until you see the movie. It's just a vicious cycle that we're all in for.
What we doing live?
Live. Echoes in eternity. Yeah! Classic. Okay, on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to call this one a fine episode 5. 4? 5. How many episodes have we done?
Who's counting?
4. Discounting the title at the top that I'm saying is episode 4. So guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. I hope y'all get to watch your Last of Us, watch your Twisted Metals, watch some more Fallouts while we're at it, and pretty much make time to watch. I'm saying this to myself. Take time to watch things is what I'm saying to me.
Take time to watch things. Advice of Jarrod on his tombstone.
Yes, take time to watch things.
No, life is crazy. Give yourself a break. Watch a movie.
Get lost in a story. That's what these are all about. Other people are making money. Sarah's people are making money, but you and I, Aundreya, we're going to watch some stories and enjoy them. And to all you fine Critic Box critics out there, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, hate, whatever you got. Let us know. Feedback is always better. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Go watch something.
Bye.
Bye.
So again, World War Z, if they just changed the title of it, it could have been Project Z, and that would have been a completely fine standalone movie on its